Helen.
I love this animated logo that we've got today that we started with. It is just so cool. This tech tool Quickie by the ex-early birds, now coaching the class birds. And this earn your badge that you had there is just so awesome. I loved it.
I tell you, the fun that I can have in Canva is endless.
Listen, you should be writing content for next term. Skip that Canva.
Just going to have a little play. So so today we're doing a fabulous EdTech tool, Google Earth Pro. It's a little bit different to the one that we've done before. And the reason we're doing it is
because next term we have got some awesome lessons planned for the NST Planet Earth and Beyond, where everybody now does our planet Earth, and we look at the sun as the center of the universe, Earth, the moon.
The center of the universe?
Oh, sorry, center of our universe, my universe. And then, so each grade looks at it to varying degrees. The grade 4s kind of get introduced to it. The grade 5s wobble a bit because they deal more with soil and the crust. And then the grade 6s come back and they're allowed to explore the planets and Mars and moon vehicles and really exciting stuff. So it's really awesome to write for them.
And so what the reason why we've chosen Google Earth Pro to have a look at is because we've actually used it in these 2 units. And it can be a little overwhelming if you've never looked at it before. There's lots of buttons and layers and all sorts of things. And we don't want you to be overwhelmed.
So I have looked at it before, but I'm needing this backup lesson, and I know that before I do it, I'm going to have to go and watch this all over again.
So I had great fun last week, and when I wrote the one lesson, playing in it, and last week refreshing myself.
Close in on that lesson.
So actually in the grade 4 lesson, in week 3, we're looking at, we called it walking on the moon, but it's basically the grade 4s have got to do look at the physical features of the moon, and we don't want to just give them lists of stuff to look at.
You mean a note with information on?
Yeah,
you would like them to discover.
Yes, and actually making observations is a critical skill for children and people to develop.
Science is about observation.
But life's about observations.
Yes.
If you're not making observations, then you're not learning really how to improve. So we take the learners to Google Earth Pro and we let them walk on the moon virtually.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Come, show us. Where are you going?
Okay, so you're going to go to Google and type in Google Earth Pro as a search, and this is the option that you're going to select to go to. And when you arrive at this website, what you'll find is that there are 3 different versions displayed on as options. Now, last time we did a Google Earth Tech Tool talk, we actually looked at Google Earth on the web.
So you don't need to download anything. It's just there always, which is a nice safe place to be.
And obviously you can go visit this. And
so this was me today just checking it out. And for the grade 6s, we need to go and look at Mars. And so this is where they are creating a Mars research station in the Arctic to see what it's like, because it is a tundra desert.
Okay, so they're doing a simulation there.
Totally. But this is now the normal one that you'll find on the web. You don't need to download it.
And then you go and look here at Voyager to get this.
So that's exactly
it's
where
curated content.
Totally.
Lovely. But what we're going to look today is we're actually going to go to Google Earth Pro for desktop. You're going to click on that. And when you click on that, it's going to bring up the next screen, which allows you to download Earth Pro onto your desktop. Either a laptop, a Chromebook, your PC, it doesn't matter. It actually comes up with the app, which is this little icon on the right-hand side on your desktop. And when when you finish downloading, obviously this comes up, and you have to install it onto your
so it'll
desktop.
be an exe file that you activate, and watch out for an antivirus that might block your PC from downloading it, which I had.
Yes, this morning. So then let's get going and have a look. So we're going to escape now from here, and we're going to head into Google Pro. So let's just close the screen.
And we are already in Google Pro.
So you'll find that this is on your desktop.
Yes, there it is.
So you go and click on that.
And we opened it just to keep it. This comes up the very first few times that you open it.
Okay, and you can take this off over here, but actually it's very useful if you're getting a little bit stuck, because it gives you some tips on how to navigate. So let's close that. And here on the side is basically some of the navigation tools that allow you to physically
zoom in,
navigate.
zoom out.
But you can also use your mouse to do most of it.
Yes.
And obviously, if your children are working on touch screens, they can use their finger.
Yes, they love that.
So at the side here is a toolbar called Layers. There's a menu called Layers. And basically, this allows you to toggle and decide what's going to be on your Google Earth. So for example, at the moment, we've got all those yellow lines, but if we click over here, it takes all the borders off.
Awesome.
Okay. And there's various things here. I love this option. We open up weather. So I know also in one of the grades, you're looking at clouds and cloud types. And if we put that on.
And this is real-time clouds for today, or is it clouds that were there 7 years ago?
No, thankfully not. So this updates in real time. Hopefully it's going to update.
There we
go. Okay, and so now that layer is being built onto your Google Earth platform. So you can go have a look. It's taking a little while.
That's such nice weather.
Yeah, so over
in Russia, is that Russia and China?
In Southeast Asia. Yeah, no, they're
very cool.
Yeah. So we can keep going. So if you're looking at sort of weather patterns, etc., especially in high school, you can have a look. Oh, look, Europe's actually having a bit of summer still.
Yes, yay.
Okay, so that's basically Google Earth on the Earth, and that you can use in grade 4 where they're still looking at the physical features of Earth.
Brilliant. So those are all the layers that you can add and take out.
Yes, exactly, to make it simpler or more complex. But now we want to go and explore.
Oh,
that's really exciting. We're going to go look at sky first. So sky is pretty obvious. It's the sky.
How awesome.
I know, it's very exciting. And now you can see it looks a little bit complicated at the moment with 5,000 labels.
Yay,
but we can
solar system.
We can actually take out what we want to look at and don't want to look at.
Yes,
so if we take something out, you'll see some of the labels removed.
Okay.
This is a very cool label, Welcome to Sky, because if we click on that, it allows you to basically walk through what's available in this option. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, but you want to have a look at the sky, you can click through here and it allows you to, it gives you tips. What I particularly like on this one is if we go to our solar system and we open it, we can, again, mainly for the grade 4s, go and have a look at any one of these features. The grade 4s are looking for the sort of physical features of the sun, the moon, and the earth. So we're going to zoom in quickly to the earth, and we can zoom in and out and go have a look at
the sun.
Yeah, so these are real images of the sun. We can go and have a look at the moon, and we can see how we're traveling through the sky.
Awesome.
Okay, and here, of course, it tells us when this image was actually taken.
Wow.
And we can zoom in to have a look at the physical features again of the moon. Now, if we want to have a closer up view of the moon, we're actually going to head up here again, and we're going to go to the moon.
Moon and Mars. So if we're going to have a choice, because the grade 6s might like to look at Mars.
Well, they must look at Mars.
Yes.
So, but they must look at moon and Mars. Grade 4s, we're still looking just at the moon and its physical features. So we might want to click on here and just go in a bit closer. So they can play then and have a look. Okay, so that's what it actually looks like. And they can say, you know, the color, it looks sandy, there's some holes, etc. So they can actually go and make their own observations, which are great. We can go and have a look at the moon gallery, and in the moon gallery is this lovely option to go and look at the Apollo missions.
Wow, we can see where they all landed. That would be so cool.
And there are various things. We can go and look at photographs. If we go and click on here, we can go and look at a photograph that was taken.
No, that's exactly where it was taken.
Yes, and what's awesome is this. It loads up the photograph, and you can actually look through it as if you were standing there.
Sure.
So when in a time when outings are not possible, and definitely
this is an
outing to the moon's highly unlikely,
and it's at my own pace. So if I'm quick, I can move along quickly. If I'm slow, or if I'm in wonderment and awe, I can be at that pace. Oh, and look at those.
Yeah, you can really zoom in. They've really enhanced all of these photographs. It's very cool.
Sure, good photography here.
And then is this amazing option is that there's guided tours narrated by some of the astronauts. So if we go into this tour, Buzz Aldrin, obviously he was one of the first moon landers, we can go in and play this tour, and he talks us through.
I'm Andrew Chaikin, author of A Man on the Moon, The Voyages of the Apollo Astronauts. By July 1969, NASA was racing to meet President Kennedy's audacious
And what I love about this is that the grade 6s can go and have a look at this.
The lunar module and how it disassembled and all of that.
Exactly. So looking a little bit more in depth, while the grade 4s are looking at what is actually on the moon.
Yes.
How did it travel? How is it weighted, etc., etc. So that's the moon exploration, which is very cool. And then we're going to head over to Mars for the grade 6s.
Yay. How cool is this? And this is Google Earth Pro that you've got to download onto your laptop or wherever it is.
Yes.
Oh, how awesome are the features of?
And absolutely. And you can again zoom in.
You can go and find all those places that you hear about, but you don't really know, to put them into perspective almost, to see where this one is in relation to that one.
And again, you can toggle these layers. So you can go and have a look at the images from a particular Mars mission.
Yes. Okay.
So, and that allows you to go, okay, I want to have a look at the images that were done on HiRISE or any of the others. And then again, there are these guided tours. And these are fabulous. If basically the introduction to Mars is pretty self-explanatory, this Mars exploration is lovely because it gives you a lot more of the detail on the rovers and the robotics and all of that kind of thing. And, whoop, wrong one. Oh, I hope it's going to not crash out there. Sorry, I've now... Oh, sorry.
Hey, Bill Nye, the science guy here.
And it's it might just dip us out, which is fine. Because we've seen how awesome it is.
So let's go back to our screen again, to just us. Lovely.
So, I mean, that's amazing. So I actually just want this to end so I can go and play there because, wow. And it's just in time when you're doing your prep for next term.
Yeah.
So, if you buy the Coach in the Class, there will be units that utilize this Google Pro.
Yeah.
And if you don't buy it, go and use it. Just go and play in it yourself and take your kids into it.
Yes. And especially, it doesn't actually have to be even a formal lesson.
Just discover.
Yes,
discover.
Or throw it out there to your kids. Send an email home to parents saying, here's a link, or download this at home. And kids can go and play on it.
A bit of flipped classroom. How awesome is that? So flipped classroom, in classroom, just discover and be there. And I mean, for your brighter kids, to just tell them about it. And once they finish their work, let them pick up a Chromebook, if there is such a thing, or a device, and go and play and discover and say, hey, man, did you know this? Because I can imagine myself in the back of the class.
Totally. And I think that's what we keep talking about, that engagement in their learning. They're in charge of it, that it's active. They can't just sit there. They've got to scroll around and look and investigate.
And I might go and look at the Mars vehicles, whereas you might go and look at something else. And we have the freedom to go and find what interests us.
Totally. I love it. I know, it's very exciting. I could spend hours.
What a great tool that we're going to have for next term. So definitely go and look at it. And Coach in the Class will be back with another awesome tool soon. A techie tool.
Have a wonderful weekend. See you soon.